move anything. And we're going to tap. Now to tap, we need the tap. And at the end, tell me what you see. No, what kind of shape do you see at the very end?
Cone.
What kind of shape do you see at the very end? Cone, triangle?
Pyramid.
Cone? What kind of shape do you see at the end?
Pyramid.
Square?
Oh, the back end? The back end?
Look like prism.
It's a square? Okay, so it's a trick question. Square, right? Okay, square. Now, notice what we have in here. The square. Huh?
Really?
Yeah. We got a square. 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 Yeah. Square goes into a square hole. Round peg is a round hole, square is a square hole. Yeah, that's what they say. So we put it in square and we tighten. We do not tighten over here where it's round. We tighten around the square. Just like that. See that? Yeah. That's what it's for. People try tighten around that square around the edge here, and then it slips. He said, it's not any good, Mr. Bond. That one guy pulled one of these away. I'm like, what's the matter here? It's all stripped out, man. Look, it doesn't even turn the tap anymore. So why? It's magic. And so I took it out of the trash, I put it on, and I tapped the hole. And he goes, man, you got one hell of a grip, Mr. Bernard, I tell you. I said, yeah, I do. Anyway, it's not magic. It's your machine. You lower the machine down for me.
Sir, yes, sir.
Now, you got a couple. Let me grab this over here.
This muscle side.
Go ahead. All right, so go ahead, stop. Okay, so you got two options here. You got this one, which is going to be one of your projects. That's going to be one of your projects. Or you got this one, which is the special that I don't know where this came from, but having been in the shop here 5 years ago on every machine, so I thought, oh, what the hell. And what's it made for? Well, it's made to go in just like that, so that I can go and put it in just like that, right? Just like this. See that? And now you can tap in alignment and it keeps it straight. See that?
It's very important because I did it without doing that because I got a little ahead of myself and I just got very lucky that it didn't go, it went in straight, but fair.
Okay? So
Nice.
this one, what has to happen here when you tap, you got to keep pressure down. Well, you got a little spring. See that? And that you just go and you push it down like that, and then it keeps the amount of pressure as you're tapping. And once you're inside the hole, well, you don't really think it's going to do it by itself. Now, how do you tap? That's the real important thing. When you tap something, you always make sure lots of fluid. Lots of fluid. Don't try to tap dry on me. All right? You don't tap anything dry.
Tap that.
Yeah.
Don't be a little rough.
Okay. And the reason is you're cutting threads on the inside. You're cutting very tiny threads. It's going to bind because when you tap, you got to push down, start it, and it starts, and then you got to back it to break the chip. Down, come back, break the chip. Back down, keep this in alignment, turn about 2 turns, release the pressure, down, down, take that, Put a little bit of water on it. Just enough to break the pressure, right? Now, you can see that if I try to do this, I'm going to do this, right? And that's how you break a tap. That's why you go like this to keep it pressured down, right? Now, if at any point you go, that doesn't want to go, putting more pressure probably isn't a good thing. Okay? I've had a lot of students break taps on it. Then they come to me and say, how do I remove the tap? Well, it's a $64 million question, right? And it can be done, but we don't have the equipment. And I got the 1903 equipment. It's called a chisel and a hammer. Okay? And I've done that before. It doesn't always work. Okay? So try not to do that. The professional way of doing it is to use what they call an EDM machine, electrical discharge machine. And it basically burns the tap out of the hole. And then you can take a pick and pick out the rest of it. And you're done. Okay. That's the professional way of doing it. Okay, so we continue going down, going back up, going down. And at some point, you're going to see it's already through the hole. And you can just keep on turning it until it's threaded all the way. All right, and there you go. I'm all the way through the hole. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. Didn't take me very long, did it? Yeah. If you're there for an hour, man, something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong. Okay. Okay. So, this brings me to my next thing, is the different types of tap. Now, you guys all said that, and again, when I take it out, you know, so I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm using 2 fingers, right? Basically, and I'm just kind of turning it by fingers. If you got to put all 190 pounds of your weight to remove that tap, you've done something wrong. Okay? And we're going to talk about threads here, but there are different types of taps. This one is what we call a starter tap, and that has the point. And that's how you tell a starter tap. Okay? You have also something called a plug tap, and that's one that has a flat bottom, flat over here, and it has less threads tapered.
I think those are the ones that use the model flux. They have those.
Yeah. Starter tap, plug tap, and the last one is called a bottoming tap. That's if you have to thread something all the way down to a blind hole. That's a hole that does not go all the way through. So something that's blind. You tap it all the way to the bottom. That's called a bottoming tap. Okay? We'll use the starter taps, or you can use plug taps, but no bottoming taps. Okay, we have them in there, but we don't do that. Once you're done, guess what you got to do? You've tapped one hole, right? And as you can notice over here, the tap hole has the chamfer still. Take a look at it. It has the chamfer. You can see it. Everybody take a good look at that. I want to see a chamfer on that hole. If I don't see a chamfer, then we need to put a chamfer
By
on.
chamfer, what does it refer to?
The
angle
It's
dip.
like an angle.
On the top, it's the
Threaded holes need to be chamfered.
like the hole, like the
Threaded holes need to be chamfered. I'll say that again. Threaded holes need to be chamfered before you thread. People always ask me, do I chamfer the hole? I don't know. You putting a thread in? Yeah. What do you think? Now, how big is the chamfer supposed to be in terms of size? And here's the rule of thumb. It needs to be at least the major diameter of the tap. So the major diameter of the tap is the outside diameter of this tap. Now for a 1032, in class last time, we actually determined how much it was in terms of diameter. Everybody remember the number? 190,000. So if you want to get really scientific about this, we can go ahead and put this to 190 thousandths over here. And we can measure and say, it's gotta be at least that. Okay, we can measure it visually, okay? My preference is to go between 10 and 30% bigger for the thread size, okay? So roughly 20 thousandths more than 190 thousandths, or 20 thousandths. So 210, okay? That's what I prefer.
So in terms of screws, what kind of screw would fit in there?
That's going to be a set screw. We're going to put a little set screw. I'm going to give it to you. But before you do that, there's some things you need to do before I give you the set screw. Okay, so make sure the hole's chamfered. Once you've done that, and the hole's chamfered on this side, and he's going to take the setup and he's going to start all over again. He's going to edge find over here, and he's going to edge find over here, and he's going to find this hole because it's 180 thousandths from this side, and it's 180 thousandths from this side. Okay? And that's what I want. And that's how I measure it. Don't try to do the calculation on the printer, it won't work for you. Because your width on all of them will be different. So you will be, oh, mine's 970, mine's 975, mine's 980, mine's 983, mine's 971. And all of a sudden you move it over, and then when you measure it from side to side, guess what? You're out of tolerance. So edge find from the edge here, and from this edge. Now for the 125, you don't have to do anything, right? You just keep it right where it's at. So you're not going to move it in and out like that. You're just going to move this one. You're going to find that edge once, and then move it over here. The 125 doesn't move. Okay. Questions? So let's see how this, what this looks like, just so you can see the setup on this. So you'd put this in, and you could use a collet for this too. The only problem with doing it this way, just notice what the difference is. You know, you got to bring the table up and down, right? I mean, it's like, holy cow, I got to really move that table down, right? So you move this thing almost all the way down the end, and you got to move it all the way back up manually. That's it. Now, if you take this out and put this in a collet, which is what, if you're going to do a lot of tapping, that's what you should do. And you just put it in a 1/2-inch collet, and now all of a sudden that's become way shorter than the drill chuck, huh? And that becomes the hot ticket if you're going to do a lot of tapping. All right? Okay. Where can you find these? You find these right where you find the parallels, right next to the edge finders. Okay? You're going to make one. Yours is going to be stainless steel, hopefully. All right? And you're making one right now. That's your next project after you get done with the vice stop. Okay? So you go lathe, mill, and then,
No, I know.
huh? Well, you know, it's a 101 class, so I'm not pushing my luck here. So, I mean, I could get you on these green machines and show you some programming, conversational programming. That'd be cool. But that's more 102, 103 stuff. Okay, because I get people that do this and then they, oh, I want to push the button. No, I don't want to make you operators. Okay? I don't want to make you operators. You're not operators. Okay? Operators make between 15 and 20 bucks an hour. That's what an operator makes.
It's gonna be quite stupid.
They can be replaced with a robot. Okay? Twice. That's fine twice. He did that. You put the drill chuck in there, which is great. You're going to get yourself a, let's see, make sure this is right here. The number 3 center drill, just making sure. Number 3. Number 3.
Don't trust this guy.
All right, number 3. And I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to center drill my part. Okay? Now, you're going to tap or make an internal thread with a tap. The tap size will be 1032. 1032. So that little red Starrett chart that I gave you, you look for 1032 and you read to the left of it, and it's a size 21 drill. Okay? So check that, make sure it's right. Size 21.
0.1590.
Now, what is the decimal equivalency of a 21 drill?
0.1.
159? Okay, 159. So, we've got, this is a 21 drill, and I encourage everybody here, when you grab those drills out of the drawer, go ahead and mic them. And the way you mic them is by miking the very edge of them and making sure that they're, you know, the size. This is a 159, just so you can see. Notice where I'm miking it. I'm miking it on the very tip. I'm miking it on the very tip. I'm miking it on the very tip. Yeah. It is 159. So I got a good drill here. Sometimes people put drill track in the drill index, and not so good. Okay, that's why I spend my summer doing this. Okay? All right, so first thing you want to do is you always want to center drill. And again, put a little bit of oil on there. What RPM do you want to go? You can center drill at between 800 and 1,000 RPM. And all I want to do, I just want to see, making sure that this is all the way down. Funny story about this, I had a guy, an advanced student of mine. He came to me and I gave him a brand new carbide end mill. And he says, I'm plunging with this carbide end mill. And of course he was all the way here. And he goes, goddamn thing doesn't want to go down. He goes, give me another one. I'm looking at the end mill and I'm going, nothing wrong with that end mill. Brand spanking new. Thing don't work for track. Look at it. Oh, Jesus. Stop, will you? And he goes, let me see that. And I put it back up and I go, what's that over there? He goes, oh, yeah, watch this. Oh, look, 2 fingers. Guy's looking at me going, you were on the stop. He goes, oh, Jesus. He goes, you know, I think I bent the handle. And he did. This guy was big. I mean, he's like this guy over here, maybe a little bigger. Okay? He bent the handle. So I looked at him and went, this kind of cockeyed. Yeah, he bent the handle. So how far are you supposed to center drill? So you got to go up the angle, right? And again, you just wipe the oil like that. And this is how far I want you to go. I'm going to show you how far you're going to go. I'm going to wipe it off with my hand so that you can see how far I've gone. Go ahead, take a look at it. Everybody, take a look, see how far I've gone down. I've gone about half, 2/3 up the angle of the 6 degrees. Now there's a reason why I do that. It's so that the drill doesn't walk on me. Now you'll notice it's pretty close to the edge, isn't it? In fact, some of you say, whoa, that can't be right. Well, it is. It is right. It's right for the print. And I thought about changing that at one time. And then I thought, nah, I'm not going to. So, I've now center drilled. Okay? And now I'm ready to go ahead and I need to drill. Okay? So now I'm going to replace this with my drill. And the nice thing is you can probably do the speed and feed calculation. 4 times cutting speed is 400 divided by 159 thousandths. And you'll probably find that the RPM is like, I don't know, 3,000-4,000, something like that. I don't know, it's pretty high. And wait a minute, this thing only goes up to 3,000, right? So you could, on this particular one, you go, okay, I'm red lighting at about 3,000, it's a little too much. 2,500, right? But I don't want you to go that fast. In the industry, when you're running a CNC, go for it. Here, you're learning. Turn down about 1,000. Okay? just so things don't get cockeyed. And then I'm just going to adjust this accordingly. And I'm just going to peck drill again. Just gonna peck drill. Put a little oil in there. Don't need much. And I'm going to go all the way through. Come back up. And I'm done. Okay. And I'm just going to wipe that off so you guys can all see that there is still a chamfer on that hole. There's still a chamfer in the hole. And that's a good thing. The bigger the chamfer, the better off you are. Try to make sure the chamfer doesn't go past the end of the part. Okay. All right. So, let me get something over here.